Martial King's Retired Life Volume 1, Chapter 7 to Chapter 14. Please subscribe to the channel to support us. Thank you. This round was the same as the last. The examination was to be completed as a pair, but it seems the order was jumbled up, because I wasn't paired with my junior Shiai. Instead, I was paired with another young maiden. She had her eyes plastered on Master Lu and was flirting with her eyes non-stop ever since she set foot in. Lass, let me give you a piece of advice, a lady's beauty will never enter the line of sight of dedicated monks and gays. You will be tested on your intellect this round. Alright, listen in. Master Lu was shaking his head the way people do when fortune tellers explain their fortune to them based on divination sticks at temples. He looked more like a nutjob than a respectable young man from a prestigious family. The examiner asked, let's say the opponent was more skilled than you and skilled with hidden weapons while you were outclassed in both. What should you do in this sort of situation? The young maiden shyly raised her small hand and turned her body as she shyly said, you could seduce him, try to make him think he won, and when he's distracted, castrate him. If you manage to cut off the root of a man's power, he's basically useless. After that, he. Holy fuck. I correctly guessed what her opening would be, but that second half. I never imagined she'd say that. Aren't you too ruthless? Your enemy might not be a bad person, you know? I imagined the scene of a highly skilled marital artist who was also an elite hidden weapon user getting castrated by some girl of a prestigious family. Damn. Master Lu displeasingly denounced, nonsense. Absolute nonsense. Is that something a girl says? Girls are supposed to protect their chastity. All girls in the world do, so why are you trying to act like a slut, seducing people, stealing what people like and stealing their man? Women shouldn't get married. Whoa. Don't you think you're too selfish? I can't believe people can't tell you swing that way. Lu Shan men aren't very sharp. He continued getting angrier as he spoke, and it wasn't long before he slammed his large hand on the table, and said, there are so many guys trapped by the charms of females precisely because of sluts like you. Get lost. I don't want to see you. The young maiden looked like she got struck by lightning. She confidently tried to show off in front of the guy she liked, and that was what she was rewarded with. He scolded her until she ran off crying. Master Lu seemed like he enjoyed it, like he managed to vent his anger over failing to keep his lover. He looked more alive than before. He helped himself to a cup of tea, and said, Ming Fiajan, it's your turn to answer. I continued looking at him speechlessly. I suddenly didn't feel like answering anymore, but decided to answer anyway, and said, I'll plant a mine and blow him up. He frowned and said, answer properly. You treat men and women completely differently. Even an idiot could tell that I was dissing you, and yet you're asking me to repeat myself? Is this like some new way of discriminating against women? But I must ask, what the hell is up with this topic? A highly skilled martial artist who's also skilled at using hidden weapons. No matter how hard I think about it, the only answer that comes to mind is, can't you just one-hit KO him? Does the problem lie with me? Master Lu took a sip of tea and said with his eyes half closed, you don't know how to answer? That's fine. Okay, next question. What the hell? There are 2 questions now? That girl ran off for nothing then. There are 14 people in the hall, and the person you're charged with protecting has been captured by the enemy. How should you resolve the situation? Well. Say, can't you ask simpler questions? Like how did the pig die when he ran into the tree? If you ask me these sorts of questions, the only answer I'll have for you is, kill the guy on the left of the hostage first, then the one on the right, then rescue the hostage. Master Lu let out a sigh and said, the correct answer is to feign surrender and deceive the enemy. Ming Fiajan, your martial arts skills are whatever, and you're terrible at using your brain. Looks like I'll be continuing on to the next round without you. Did he just say he was going to eliminate me and bury my dream to retire? Wait. He stopped drinking as I signaled to stop with my hand. He looked at me surprised, and asked, what? Now that it's come to this, I can't hold back anymore. I have to put you in your place. Old Lu, don't blame me. It's your son's fault for disrespecting his seniors. I suppressed the sound around, and used Shu Yin Cheng's Xian arts to speak to him, by speaking directly into his ears so that others wouldn't hear. I said to him, Master Lu. I know Su Xiao. Master Liu's eyes opened wide before making a scornful expression and shouting, so what if you know him? Are you trying to leverage that to gain favor with me or something? This is Lu Shanmen. Listen carefully, Ming Fijian. His voice got louder and louder. Fine, if that's how you want to play it. I said, I know about the secret between you and Su Xiao. I saw a bead of sweat roll down his head as he said, how do you? What else do you know? I replied, you not only know him, but you're also very close to him. You're so close to each other that you're ready to share a bed with him, right? He suddenly started laughing in a friendly way, so I played along with him. Ha ha ha, Master Ming, you're so talented. Ha ha ha, not at all, not at all. And that's how I managed to pass the second round without a hitch. The third round of exams. The most outstanding participant thus far is Tang Ye. He was competing against a swordsman. The exam for this round was combat. He didn't hold back like last time and defeated his opponent in 5 moves. After defeating his opponent he faintly said, thank you for taking it easy on me. He strikes like the wind, his execution is concise, and each technique is executed with the goal of defeating his opponent in 1 move and up until now has only used 1 hand. This is the reason my evaluation of him continues to improve. I now believe he's an even match for my junior Shi. Su Xiao stood to one side looking at Tang Ye with admiration as though he envied his martial arts. At the same time, Master Lu who was standing behind him looked at him with hatred at least 10 times Su Xiao's admiration. He looked like he was rip his head off. Tang Ye wins. Next is Ming Suen and the drunkard Wonky, of Julian Villa. It was Junior Shi's turn, so I cheered for her, Junior Shi, I wish you a speedy win. You sure have a way with words. I'm off now. A guy and girl appeared outside the door and looked on at Junior Shi as well. Shen Yiren cheerfully shook Shen Kuang's arm and said, it's that girl's turn. How many moves do you think it'll take for her to defeat her opponent this time? Shen Kuang wasn't sure if he was meant to be happy or sad seeing his sister's childish reaction and said. You can tell with one glance, why are you even trying to make a bet with yourself? Shen Yiren looked at him with spite like he was retarded, and said, what do you know? She's highly skilled. I may not even be her match. Is she that good? Didn't you see her in the first round when she used Mount Deluo's Seeing Luo palms against that guy? Every move was trained, succinct and beautiful. It's obvious she was trained by a reputable master. Those 3 examiners have shit for eyes. They were about to let talent like that go. Shen Kuang, happy with what he just heard asked, so that means the guy she fought was pretty good too, right? Shen Yiren replied with a mocking look, no. That guy is a waste of air. He used Wu Dang's Tai Chi which is taught by the old fart. He even applied the techniques incorrectly several times. I heard she is his aunt. If his aunt wasn't going easy on him, her first strike would have been enough to take his life. Hey! There she goes again. That's Tian Luo weaving palms. I can't believe she can use that technique too. She really was using Tian Luo weaving palms. I thought Junior Shi was just here to kill time, but it looks like she's having fun. I don't blame her. There's no shortage of female warriors in the pugilistic world, but there are hardly any on Mount Deluo. There aren't many who could put up a fight against her either. I know of only 3 people who could go tit for tat with her. This meant that my martial arts crazed Junior Shi had no opponents. At the same time, she can't just go find some stinking men to fight, right? I'd be the first to object. Getting back on topic, she's completely destroying him. Drunkard Wonky could be considered one of the skilled martial artists of Nanjing, but his drunken fist is completely useless against Junior Shiai's Tianluo weaving palms. He doesn't even have the opportunity to show his skills. Junior Shiai decided she'd had enough, so she used her sleeves to flick him in the face, and threw a kick from her left. Wonky barely managed to step back to evade her sleeve flick, and was caught by her kick which hit his pressure point. In the end he was left lying on the floor cussing. Marvelous. Somebody blurted it before I could. I turned around and saw a very, very sweet-looking beauty with a lava-hot voluptuous body standing behind me clapping. Her clothes weren't the tight-fit type, but it gave the impression that it was. The main reason for that was certain places protruded. It's commonly said that there is a type of woman that is very hard to chance upon, and all men in the world wish to meet. I think I've met her today. Big eyes and boobs. That face and body have got to be illegal. Who? I wiped my drool. Who is she? She ignored me and walked straight up to Junior Shiai and excitedly grabbed her hands like old people in a village getting an award from the village chief. It's been hard on you. You really are a village chief. All my fantasies of her crumbled at that sight. Isn't that the vice captain of Lu Shanmen, Shen Yiren? Why is she here? It looks like Lu Shanmen are serious about this time's recruits. What? Vice captain? She's my future boss? All of a sudden I joined the villagers and unconsciously praised the vice captain asterisk. Junior Shiai gently pushed her hands away and pursed her lips into a smile in my direction. I think she was trying to send me some sort of message, but I couldn't decipher it. Then she suddenly said, Ming Suwen shall now retire. Say what? I was a tad confused. What do you mean? Yeah, what do you mean? Shen Yiren was more nervous than me. No, that's not right. I was just a little surprised, I wasn't nervous in the least. Shen Yiren on the other hand, was legitimately nervous. She kept pressing on with her question, what are you retiring from? What do you want to retire from? Junior Shiai waved her hands and said, I didn't come here with the intention of joining Lu Shanmen, so why should I bother fighting up to the last round? I don't want to waste my time on this. I'm bored now. If you want something from me, ask for my nephew instead. Hey! You're a pro at setting me up, aren't you? I suddenly felt like my future boss was glaring at me with bloodthirsty eyes. I responded faster than the blink of an eye. I waved my hand to brush it off and said, don't look at me. I'm not her eldest nephew. I wasn't lying. Based on our seniority rankings, my Shifa should be her eldest nephew. Shen Yiren looked at us with suspicion, and said, how many relatives do you have in your family? Did they all come here? Junior Shiai shrugged, pointed at me and said, it doesn't matter how many relatives I have. The point is, he's in charge of handling my issues. Her tone carried a hint of dependency, making my heart throb. Wait, wait, wait. This isn't the time for you to be throbbing. Come on, don't sell me out now. Shen Yiren glanced at me and said in an overbearing tone, You're going to meddle in my business. What do you want me to do about it? You have to stand aside even if you're her future boss. It's my Junior Shiai we're talking about here. I looked at the big-boobed beauty with a sad expression. I said in a serious, painful, brave, and righteous tone, in any case, my aunt doesn't want to work for Lu Shanmen. This is our problem. I won't cause you any trouble. If you insist on making us compensate you, then I'm willing to join Lu Shanmen and slave away for you to make it up to you. Shen Yiren paused for a moment and then cussed, get fucked. You came here to take the recruitment exams, and now you think you can talk your way in? You're slyer than a fox. Damn it. At least I tried. TCH. What do you want me to do then? My aunt never signed anything, so it's not like you can stop her from leaving. Gugu, leave first, I'll handle things here. Worst comes to worst, I'll work as a slave for you. Shen Yiren looked like she lost it as she said, shut up. Have you still not given up on trying to get in using backdoor methods? Miss Ming, you're a rare talent that we would love to have. I can raise your salary 10 times if you like. If there are no problems, then could we sign an agreement now? 10 times. 700 silver ingots a month. Junior Shii laughed out loud and said, forget 10 times, even if you were to pay me 20 times. Fiajin. What are you doing standing behind her? Oh yeah, when did I get behind her? Hearing Junior Shii's threatening tone, my legs automatically walked my back to her side. But 700 silver ingots plus the end-of-year bonus is tens of thousands silver ingots. I could build my extravagant dream estate with that. Right at that moment, a clear voice said, don't be like that, sis. Maybe she really has problems to deal with. Miss Ming, please don't hesitate to tell us why you want to quit. If there is an issue, we would be happy to help, and you can join Lu Shanmen afterwards. Wouldn't that be perfect? The person who spoke out was a young maiden who was an absolute beauty. She looked like the spitting image of Shen Yiren. Are they sisters? The problem was, she was a disappointment below the neck. Starting from below the neck, she was as flat as a board. She had large eyes, but her chest region was non-existent. She spoke with a much softer tone than the domineering vice-captain. How could two sisters be so different? But I must say, having two beautiful sisters standing next to each other is very pleasing to the eye. Junior Shii used the move I used before to speak directly to me without anyone else hearing, Fei Zhen, help me. I looked at her with a confused look to say, why should I? She glared back at me to say, if I get to the final round and then walk off, they'll take offense to it. Lu Shan men aren't pushovers. Why are you trying to reach the finals in the first place? And I don't want her to reach the finals either. If she did, we'd have to face off against each other. I coughed, looked back at them and said with a tragic tone, we just received some sad news from home. My Shifo, I mean my aunt's eldest nephew passed away. Shifo, I swear I'm not cursing you. I clenched my fists and said with all the sincerity I could muster. While he was on his deathbed, he said he wanted to see my aunt or else he wouldn't die in peace, so my aunt needs to head back to attend the funeral. At the very least, she needs to make the 3 bows at his grave and send him her final words. He died? How old is your nephew? How did he die? I answered frankly, syphilis. Shen Yiren took a big step back and said with disgust, eek. Stay away from me. Shifo, I swear I'm not cursing you. Shen Yiren quickly regained her composure and said, do you think I'm stupid? Would you be here taking part in the exams if he actually died? A pigeon delivered the message to us just now. Where's the pigeon then? I grilled it and ate it already. Where's the letter then? The pigeon ate it. You're just going to play dumb with me, aren't you? Shen Yiren's beautiful eyes started to form tears of anger. Her eyes, which were meant to be filled with love, became filled with bloodthirst. I don't know why, but all the examiners took a big step back and covered their groins. What's going on? Don't try and bullshit me. If you leave after passing 2 rounds, you're going to mess up our arrangements. You're not going anywhere. I don't care. My aunt has to attend the funeral, so she'll be leaving no matter what. Your arrangements are your problem. Shen Yiren's younger sister laughed naively after hearing our conversation. It was like she lightened the heavy atmosphere a little. Those sick perverted examiners took a deep breath as though they were trying to catch the air she breathed out. Hey! Stop it already, you sickos! The younger sister said with a smile, you heard her, sis. Miss Ming has an urgent matter to attend to. Miss Ming, Go ahead and attend to your matters first. You can come back after, and the terms my sister promised you will remain effective. Stay out of it, Kuang. She looked at her sister awkwardly with a hint of panic. Our crappy lie failed to work on her, but worked on her naive younger sister. By the way, what was the younger sister's name again? Kuang? Kuang? Kuang, asterisk I'm a little confused myself. I hit my chest with confidence, and said, my aunt isn't going to participate in the next round. Who's her opponent? I'll take them on. You. Before I could finish what I wanted to say, a blue shadow appeared. Well, look who it is. If it isn't Master Lu. Trash, how dare you disrespect the vice captain like that? I Lu Yuan, will teach you a lesson to appease her on behalf of Lu Shanmen. You just want to silence me, don't you? Shen Yiren looked at Master Lu who forced his way through. She maintained her domineering presence and posture, glared at him, and then said, who's this? Why's he pretending that we're close? Ho ha ha ha. Your superior doesn't even recognize you. Master Liu's face turned red and he loudly said, I'll arrest you if you don't stop, trash. He attacked me with his palm strikes, leaving a number of shadows behind. He attacked me with 7 palm strikes as soon as he arrived at the scene. Some master of a prestigious family he is. He's got talent. He advances and retreats like the wind. He's comparable to those guys performing on the streets. Please excuse me, I got too caught up in my explanation. Stop frequenting so many tea houses. Those places create a lot of duanzis asterisk. Alright, I'll get serious too. It's been a while since I've actually fought somebody. Let's identify his flaws first. Crap. I can't figure out his moves. His techniques don't look like they're from Qianlu villas, nor do they resemble old Liu's specialty. I remember old Liu demonstrating it to me once. It was continually changing. It emphasized overcoming brute force with technical maneuvers and was difficult to counter. How the heck did Master Lu here manage to turn old Liu's techniques into this sorry excuse for a martial art? Just what the heck is this? Screw it, I can't be bothered thinking. Let's go. People in the martial world show respect based on martial prowess, but very few knew of the invincible Ming Fijian. Most people think he doesn't even know martial arts. Most martial artists these days prefer to place more emphasis on the external aspects of martial arts. By that I mean hand-to-hand combat, swordsmanship, and staff techniques. It's not that there aren't any internal style practitioners, it's just that very few actually master them. Everybody knows that practicing internal-based martial arts will improve physical abilities. However, that only applies to the first few years of training. As the practitioner becomes more and more advanced, progress becomes slower and slower. Let me make an example to clear it up. If one's internal strength was level 1 at 10 years of age, and then practiced a top-notch internal-based style, then their internal strength at age 20 would be roughly level 100. But even if they continue to train diligently after that, by age 30, they'd reach level 120 at best. And since progress slows down, by the time they reach 60, they'd just barely have reached level 150. In other words, if you were to compare the internal strength level of a young man who invested 10 years into internal strength, his internal strength levels wouldn't be that much different from an elder who spent their entire life focusing on training their internal strength. It's common knowledge that regardless of which internal style one chooses to practice, it's highly unlikely that one will be able to surpass other practitioners by a long shot. The level one can achieve is limited by the time they have. The only way to improve infinitely is to be immortal. The slow progress is the reason most martial artists prefer styles which emphasize external aspects. Provided your internal strength level isn't too bad, you'd be considered a skilled martial artist if you knew a lot of techniques, and of course, rare techniques. For example, the Yi Jin Jing manual from Shaolin is a classic which has been passed down since ancient times, could easily be the internal style. However, the abbot of Shaolin Temple's internal strength level is only slightly higher than someone as young as Shen Yiren. Subsequently, you can see that it's basically impossible to make a name for yourself by relying on just internal strength styles. This is precisely why people don't show any recognition for youngsters who may have a high level of internal strength but know little in terms of techniques. Lu Yuan continued to let his palms fly with feints thrown in here and there. They'd definitely confuse the enemy. Qian Liu's style is all about changing and adapting. After he joined Lu Shanmen, he combined Lu Shanmen's 5 elements palms with the essential parts of his Qian Lu palms, so he increased his technique repertoire even further. However, the 5 elements palms are only basic techniques taught at Lu Shanmen. They were intended to be practiced for health benefits, so it wasn't really practical for combats. In this way, Lu Yuan took a fantastic style and transformed it into a style with no other function other than for show. His basics weren't bad, so normal people couldn't beat him, allowing him to get away with it. And that's how managed to survive at Lu Shanmen. Noticing that Fiajin wasn't moving, Lu Yuan saw an opening and struck his chest with a palm strike. Everyone in the venue went, "Whoa." Most people who know Lu Yuan know that his techniques are only good for show. The only thing he had going for him was the fact that he learned from a reputable master and had a solid foundation, so his blows had some power behind them. Normally, a strike like that would have destroyed someone's internal organs. People were wondering if Fiajin was retarded. Who stands there and takes hits like that? Just as everyone thought the victor had been decided, a cold smile crept up Lu Yuan's face, and he struck at Ming Fiajin's crown with a palm strike without hesitation. That palm strike was a heavy blow. Striking someone's Baihui point is the equivalent of killing them. Even a child who didn't know martial arts could severely injure a grown man by striking it, and here, Lu Yuan put everything he had behind the strike. If it were not for Ming Fiajin's profound abilities, that blow would have severely injured him if not killed him. Ming Fiajin finally budged. The audience could now say with certainty that he wasn't retarded. He slightly tilted his head to evade the strike. Lu Yuan seemingly knew which direction Fiajin was going to move in. His palm strike hit Fiajin's leg and he followed up with a spin kick which struck the back of Ming Fiajin's head. The kick rocked Fiajin and sent him backwards while Lu Yuan chased after him and used the same palm strike, again aiming for Fiajin's skull. Shen Yiren decided Lu Yuan was going too far and decided to reproach him. Ming Fiajin regained his balance and looked extremely angry. "Hey! Why do you keep trying to touch my head with your hand? I don't even want to know where your hand has been and what it's been touching. Could you not touch me with your hands?" Lu Yuan was shocked. There was still a shadow on his hand as he asked, "Did you learn Iron Body?" Ming Fiajin replied, "Piss off. You're the street busker here." He lightly tapped Lu Yuan on the face. His strike looked like he was caressing the air, but that one strike caused the shadow in Lu Yuan's hands to vanish. Lu Yuan then fell to the ground, foaming at the mouth with stars floating around his head. He couldn't get up. And the crowd went silent. I put Master Liu's lights out with one palm strike. Everybody looked at me. I think they were surprised by my martial prowess. I saw something strange in their eyes. I saw their eyes filled with respect for me, eyes filled with awe of my prowess, eyes filled with... Pardon me. Long story short, my image rose sky high in an instant. Immediately after that, Shen Yiren took in a breath and shut her eyes as if she'd just seen 2 dirty bugs and shouted, "Hey! Could you two please not go around wasting time and making trouble when your martial arts suck? We can't accept this standard." Last year I bought a sorry, I'm off topic again. Could you please lump me in with this guy? Didn't you see my awe-inspiring death touch win? Junior Shi looked like she knew it'd turn out this way and was laughing hard, and it was clear she had no intention of helping. I pointed to Master Lu, who was lying on the floor with his eyes rolled back, and said, "Hey, this guy is your underling, right? Don't you think he makes you look bad?" "I don't know who that guy is." "Would you say you look bad if I find a speck of dust at your house? Do you even have a dick? What kind of man is so petty?" This just lost 100 HP to this lass's mouth cannon. Shen Yiren's younger sister tugged her and said, "Don't get angry, sis. I know Master Lu, his martial art skills aren't that bad. For this man to be able to knock him down proves that he is strong." "Are you complimenting a villain or a martial arts master here?" I rebutted, "In any case, I beat your underling, so stop bothering my gugu." Shen Yiren called my junior Shi by her name without paying me any heed and said, "Ming Suen, I won't stop you since you have matters to attend to. But I trust you won't ditch your nephew here." I frowned at her for addressing my junior Shi by her name. I've only called her by her name a few times in my whole entire life, ** do you have to be so forward with her? I don't angry and asked, "What? You're saying you'll be keeping me here? So I'm getting the monthly 70 silver ingots salary now?" I was filled with bliss, the bliss of a retired life. "I'm going to keep you here. I'll have you slave away for me from day to night, so that your gugu comes back for you out of pity." I glared at my violent superior and couldn't help but spit. Why does everything she says sound twisted? I looked to my junior Shi, ignored the situation and blinked at her to say, "Gugu, Guoer can't stay by your side anymore." Instead, junior Shi returned it with a cold smile that sent a chill up my spine, as she looked at me with a domineering gaze and said, "Fiajin, aren't you glad to have such a beautiful superior accompany you? You are, aren't you?" Oi, oi, oi. This wasn't what we promised. Didn't you promise to see me off? What are you talking about, Gugu? Didn't you have to return home? Junior Shi stopped smiling, stared at me with her domineering eyes and moved her lip quickly. Her lips read, "This was your end goal, wasn't it? With a large eyes, big boobs superior and naive younger sister by your side, you've completely foregone any thoughts of becoming the sect leader. You scum, I doted on you for nothing all these years. I'm innocent." I gave her a reply expressing my devotion to the organization with lip movements too. "I swear to the heavens I had no idea of their existence before coming here. This is a pure coincidence. Junior Shi, I've got to be brain dead to believe you. Can you swear you didn't know you wouldn't have beauties accompanying you here?" Me. Well. They did write that on the recruitment notice. Are you two done or what? Shen Yiren stopped our conversation, but before she could continue, a pretty girl by the door cut us off. "What happened? Who knocked Lu Yuan out and then threw outside by the door?" That was no light beating. An enchanting woman came in through the main doors. She didn't hesitate to help up Master Lu, who I put out. In that moment, my eyes found their way to her. I saw Master Liu's chest jump as soon as she touched him. Then she swiftly pressed a hand on his back and helped him up. In just 3 moves, Master Lu, who was supposed to be out for an entire day, began to slowly open his eyes. She was a chi master. She shared her chi when she touched him. And for her to identify that he was knocked out using internal strength means she's skilled. Shen Yiren scanned her unhappily with an "I knew it" look. "You see prophets make. What are you here for? It's too late for you Kylin guards to try and stop our recruitment activities." "Oh, she's from the Kylin guards. No wonder. I heard they were always bumping heads with Lu Shan men. Perhaps I should consider joining the Kylin guards. Who knows, I might be able to find a beauty there." Shen Yiren paused before saying, "Fucking bitch, can't you tell we're working here? If you cause trouble again, I'll have you thrown out." Now that I've heard what she's called, I think it's better to stay at Lu Shan men. Miss fucking bitch pushed Master Lu aside, and covered her mouth as she said with a giggle, "What are you saying now, Vice Captain Shen? How would I dare cause you trouble? Yesterday, I met with His Majesty. And you talked more shit about us, and asked him to stop us from recruiting new members." Miss fucking bitch looked startled. It was obvious Shen Yiren hit the nail on the head. Shen Yiren proudly continued on, "Do you people have anything new other than these childish tricks?" His Majesty didn't agree, did he? If he did, we'd have received a royal decree already. Now it was Miss fucking bitch's turn. She smiled proudly and said, "You're right. However, I managed to get another request approved. Lu Shanmen haven't recruited new members, so I was worried that you wouldn't be able to carry out the task, so I asked for a supervisor position. To help you with quality checking." Miss Bitch lifted an eyebrow in a flirtatious manner and said, "All you new recruits, come here and let me check you all out once." Afterwards, I found out Miss fucking Bitch was actually called Si Tuo. She was a second-class warrior in the Kylin Guards squad, and held a high-ranking position. Lu Shanmen and the Kylin Guards have never gotten along. So she's here to cause trouble. And trouble we have. Hey, you can't pass like this. Si Tuo lifted an eyebrow at Shen Yiren to mock her, and kicked an examinee flying out. She tested the abilities of the examines and failed a total of 17 potential recruits within half an hour. After she failed the 18th examinee, she didn't forget to rub it in and mock Shen Yiren. "No wonder Lu Shanmen has been so quiet. Turns out all your recruits are retards. No wonder." Shen Yiren picked up a chair, threw it her way violently, and added, "No wonder you're brain dead." "Hey! What are you doing?" Si Tuo never imagined Miss Shen would attack for real. She easily evaded the chair, but dodging Shen Yiren's palm strike wasn't so simple. Everyone present was surprised, including Junior Shi and myself. We didn't expect Miss Shen to have such a fiery temper that even tigers would fear. She unleashed 3 punches and 1 palm strike which Si Tuo evaded, but the next move. Miss Shen surprised everybody when she planted her knee on Si Tuo's chest, grabbed her hair and pressed her head into the ground, which was very unfeminine. She grunted under her breath and then proceeded to cuss Si Tuo, "You fucking bitch. No wonder my foot. You're the retard." Quiet. She continued cussing and banging Si Tuo's head on the ground. That day, Si Tuo's head made a noble contribution to the hygiene of Lu Shanmen by leaving an inerasable mark on the floor. It was virtually a brawl between 2 thugs. "You crazy bitch! How dare you hit me like this? I'm here as a supervisor on orders of His Majesty. You're violating a royal decree." "Ow! I'm violating a royal decree? His Majesty is conducting the martial arts tournament to give us an opportunity, and yet you insist on causing trouble. I warned you already that if you dared to mess around, I'd kick you out. You want to report me? Do it. I entered the palace with Yan Shizhen when I was 7. Prince Qing bows down to me and the princess is my best friend, so go ahead and report me. Try it. I never knew my superior had such amazing people backing her. But even if he does bow down to her, that scene would just be too degrading. I mean, who could say with absolute confidence that they could ride on a tiger, I mean, a donkey? Si Tuo isn't a bad fighter, it's just that Shen Yiren caught her off guard. Her head had been smashed into the ground enough times to feel wheezy, so she better be ready to counterattack soon. Shen Yiren really does have an explosive temper. She's beating her up despite knowing she's here on orders from the Emperor. When it just started, you could brush it off as letting off steam on impulse, but now that they're serious, things aren't looking good. My junior Shi standing beside me tightly clenched her fists, eagerly watching as she shuffled her feet in place as though she was eager to join their fight. Junior Shi, weren't you angry just a moment ago? Angry about what? Fiajin, I like this girl's temperament. Can I give her a hand? Oi, stop. Please. These two have created enough of a mess as is. Vice Captain Shen, said a cold voice from behind which broke up the fight. A tall young man walked out from amongst the crowd. I bow my head to any man who dares to step into this mess going on right now. You're a true hero. I looked at the tall young man with big hands and feet carefully. He was born to learn martial arts. His face was masculine and his overall body symmetry and proportions weren't bad. He was handsome but in a different way to Su Xiao. He didn't utter another word and proceeded to walk up to Shen Yiren and Si Tuo. He gave off the impression that he was a man of few words. I know this guy, it's the fairly skilled guy, Tang Ye. Shen Yiren asked in an angry tone, what did you call me for? Humph, they're definitely trying to stop you after seeing your violent behavior. No one could put up with it. Si Tuo used the opportunity to retaliate, but caught Shen Yiren's watchful eyes and the two continued on. Tang Ye softly said, Vice Captain, I am next in line. Miss Si, please put me to the test. He spoke to both of them in the same breath, but the meanings behind his words were very clear. Shen Yiren scrunched her face and said, I'm beating this fucking bitch up because I'm looking out for you guys, standing up for you guys, and you don't appreciate it. Shen Yiren's younger sister finally had the chance to intervene. She pulled her sister away and said, Sis, you're being violent again. We can give those who failed another chance to retake the exam, but Miss Si is here on orders from the Emperor. So hitting her is inappropriate no matter how you put it. It seemed that the younger sister's quiet voice calmed the violent woman down. She may not be afraid of getting reported, but if word of her beating an envoy from the Kylin guards were to get out, then the rumors would be nasty. You're right. Hey, what's your name? My name is Tang Ye. Fine. Since you volunteered, show me what you've got. If you last 30 moves against this witch, I'll pass you on the last exam. Tang Ye didn't show any emotional responses and just said, all right. He then pulled up his sleeves, revealing his muscular arms. My evaluation of him improved further. I wasn't wrong about him. His true talent is yet to be revealed. He had an impressive tattoo of the claws of a unicorn tattooed on his right arm which he kept hidden under his sleeve. Fuck. That's a muscular arm. I looked at the man with the muscular arm in awe. Now this is a great man. A special and noble man. This man is an elegant philosopher. Shit, I'm off topic again. Long story short, he's an awe-inspiring man. Tang Ye took in a deep breath, turned to Si Tuo, extended one hand outwards as a form of invitation, and said, Miss Si, if you would please. Si Tuo began fighting Tang Ye and I was sure it wasn't going to be easy for her to win. I'm not saying that because of the beating Shen Yiren gave her, but rather the fact that Tang Ye was very skilled. It was once said that the most important attribute for determining one's level of mastery was their comprehension abilities. I disagree with that view. My unscrupulous Shifu also strongly disagrees with it. The most important attributes for martial art practitioners are their talent and disposition. Their comprehension skills aren't the most important. Through my many years of training, I'd say that being blessed with luck is the most important attribute. Putting everything else aside, my sleazy Shifu was able to make a name for himself in the martial world because he gifted my sex founder Hero Shenzhou some corn flour when he was in a pinch. Hero Shenzhou was deeply impressed as a result and took him in as a private disciple. But to tell the truth, he didn't actually gift him corn flour. He was actually stealing the corn flour when Hero Shenzhou passed by and he thought he got spotted. So he decided to share a portion with him to keep him silent. Si Tuo is one of those people blessed with luck. She was using the Kylin Guard's secret style, Kinlan's 9-character formula. This was the first time Junior Shiai and I saw this style, but it was well known throughout the pugilistic world. We recognized it at first glance. Well, to be fair, it was Junior Shiai who pointed it out to me. I felt it was very familiar but I didn't recognize the moves because I was never interested and it was my first time hearing of it. As for Tang Ye, this man was the real deal. His luck was superior to Si Tuo's. His twin palm style is remarkable. He countered all of Si Tuo's attacks with his continually adapting style and even managed to sneak in a few moves. Junior Shiai whispered to me the moves he was using: Shan Shi 8 probing hands, Kunlun's 3 gifted palms, Tian Shan's 9 Cloud Tiger Fists, the imperial family from Hebei's Pigwa Quan. Incredible, that's Shaolin's Bolami finger strike, oh, and even Mingjing Palace in Bahai's wheel flower finger style. I felt stupid listening to her. What secret pineapple juice, asterisk. I've never heard of these styles. Junior Shii giggled and said, you only know those ridiculous styles that nobody's even heard of, so of course you don't know these reputable styles. Hey! Are you saying Shifu is some sort of dropout? I just remembered. He's her nephew, so of course she's able to talk down to him. Shen Yiren gave Junior Shii a surprised look and said, not even I can recognize a single technique. That's Mingjing Palace's wheel flower finger style. Junior Shii responded with a smile and said, his hand movements are really quick and the blend of martial arts is very complex. However, each technique has a source which it originates and is well structured, which makes him much more admirable. This proves that he has a solid understanding of each technique. A look of joy crept up Shen Yiren's face as she said, he knows so many styles. I want him. It's only right, after all, Tang Ye has horseshoe triceps and his martial arts talent is quite profound. I bet he has an unscrupulous Shifu and his master taught him martial arts starting from age 8. I'll even bet the first manual he was taught was Yi Jin Jing. Keek, Si Tuo's 9-character formation is useless against Tang Ye. Forget 30 moves, 50 moves would still be a cakewalk for him. Not only is Si Tuo unable to take the lead, but she's also been in danger several times. Tang Ye wasn't taken in by her beauty. Forget the old man that I am, he's just a 22-year-old young man. I can't believe his ability to resist temptation is so strong. Miss fucking bitch's clothes were in a mess since her tussle with Shen Yiren, so now that she's in another fight with Tang Ye, she had a fairly sexy appearance and her hair was in a mess. She liked to dress in loose-fitting clothes, which was now even looser. Even her shoulders were revealed. There was plenty of eye candy. Si Tuo recognized her predicament and decided to forfeit, resulting in a draw. Vice Captain Shen, I've cross-examined your recruits, and this guy seems to be the only worthy one. That's a line reserved for losers, miss fucking bitch. Shen Yiren paid no heed to Si Tuo and was occupied with joyfully shaking the hands of her new subordinates. She looks surprisingly friendly when she's acting friendly. But just a heads up, I think you revealed your true nature when you dished out that beating. Si Tuo stomped her foot and said, we Kylin guards won't let this go. I won't let your assault on me go just like that. You said your name was, Tang Ye, right? Tang Ye bowed and said, that is correct. Si Tuo held her eyes on Tang Ye's face for a while before said, okay, I'll remember you. Miss Si Tuo then left. She walked out in a very reserved and modest manner. Had her clothes not been torn in those 3 areas? Although it was officially declared a draw, no matter how you look at it, it was clearly the Kylin Guard's loss. First win. Bashing her brain into retardation, courtesy of Miss Shen. Second win. She got her momentum destroyed and her clothing ruined, courtesy of Miss Shen. Credits go to those unnamed. That's 2:1. Shen Yiren completely owned. But since these people will be my future superior and colleagues, I'll stay silent. Ba, don't look for me. Shen Yiren clasped her hands together while she surveyed us with a smile and nodded her head with satisfaction, and said, I'll accept all those who lasted more than 5 moves against that fucking bitch. But you must all work hard. Will you agree to start working your way up from the bottom? When they heard this, half of the people present reacted with surprise. Of those who fought with Si Tuo, over half of them lasted more than 5 moves. They'll have to start from the bottom, but hey, it's basically the same as having set one foot into Lu Shanmen. Miss Shen then used her finger wearing her transparent jade to point to a few people. Su Xiao, Tang Ye, and you. Ming Fiajin. I'm recruiting all of you right here and now. You 3 are official constables of Lu Shanmen starting from today. Huh? Wasn't I recruited by default? Are you telling me I have to go through the whole process? I don't want to be stuck with Su Xiao and Tang Ye. I stood between Su Xiao, who was on my left, and Tang Ye to my right. An old man like myself was surrounded by two suave young men. I don't know why I suddenly felt a sense of indignation. Shen Yiren looked at the three of us standing by her side. She touched her chin and said, "Not bad. We'll be counting on you three from now." What did she mean by that? Before I could get a grasp on what she meant, she already began ordering around like underlings. "What are you all standing there for? Sign the contract." Without moving my body, I turned my head around to look at Junior Shi, only to find that she was looking at me too. Her face went red when our eyes met and she looked down. I didn't know what that implied, but I felt a sense of pity. I silently muttered with my lips, "Gu. Junior Shi, I'll be on my way now. I won't be coming back." It felt so hard to say those words to her. I'm lucky I didn't say that aloud, or my voice would have sounded hoarse. Junior Shi, who loved to smile, was silent. She knew I never liked Mount Deluo, don't like the responsibility of leading a sect, and didn't like the life offered by the pugilistic world. This day was bound to come sooner or later, but I always brushed it off. Now that it's come though, I really don't want to leave. Junior Shi made some small movements with her lips and then quickly left. The view of her back looked small and thin, like she was sad after being abandoned. I wanted to give chase, but my legs felt so heavy. I knew that if I chased her, I'd never come back here. And if I did chase after her, what would I be able to do? Junior Shi left me with one word upon her departure. Traitor. I don't have the guts to chase her, and I can't chase her. I had a vague idea about some things, and Junior Shi was hiding some things, but we both pretended to be oblivious. We were afraid of tearing down that paper wall between us. She's a senior. She's 2 levels higher than me in terms of seniority. What can I do? Junior Shi had left for a good while. I was sighing pointlessly. Shen Yiren sighed and said as she watched Junior Shi leave, "Whoa, she's gone already? Her eldest nephew must have died terribly." I angrily shouted, "What the hell are you saying?" Shen Yiren tilted her head in confusion and asked, "Isn't that what you told me?" Okay, I did fucking say that. Shen Yiren muttered to herself, "Weirdo." Then she said to the three of us, "Follow my younger brother to get the contracts signed. Then get your uniforms sorted." Then her younger sister stepped out and said with a smile, "Please follow me." Okay. Wait. Even though my goodbye with Junior Shi was filled with sadness, I still couldn't stop this strange omen coming on. What did I just hear? Younger brother. Shen Yiren scanned me from head to toe before glaring at me and asking, "What else? You don't have one?" Holy shit! She's a trap. No, I mean, where's your esteemed younger brother? Her younger sister looked at me with her cute large eyes and said, "I'm right here." Who are you? Where? I looked at the cute girl in front of me and felt like I just walked into a forest of fog. This girl is your brother? She's your younger brother. I felt like a retard repeating myself, but seriously, I felt like my IQ hit a wall at that moment. Tang Yet asked me in a direct fashion, "What's wrong? Did you mistake Master Kuang for a girl?" What he said combined with my hesitation caused Shen Yiren's younger sister to turn red right away. He looked down and mumbled under his breath, "Did you mistake me? Did you mistake me for a?" Tang Ye said, "He's a guy." Then he took my hand and placed it on her chest. I could feel the disappointing wall, a layer of luxurious clothing, a layer of soft muscle, a traps. Fuck. She's a guy. Su Xiao looked at me as though he couldn't compare. What the hell are you looking at? You're no better than him is. Before I could return to the present, the hall had exploded. Humph. Beast. If you dare touch my dick, I'll cut yours off, you disgraceful excuse for a human being. You sicko. Holy shit, he's after men too. I wouldn't even pay him 100 silver ingots. In a single instant, I became the target of all the hate, curses and the most despised person around. But what completely destroyed me, was when Shen Kuang went into a daze with his red face, grabbed his chest, shrieked and then ran off. Yes, he ran off. My brain froze up from information overload. The cause of all this, Tanya looked at me confused and asked, "Why do they hate you? Did you not clean your hands after using the bathroom?" "Shut up, man." As soon as his oblivious remark left his mouth, another negative comment was attached to my list of negative reviews. Could someone please tell me how to correct this situation? Today's episode ends here. See you in the next episodes.